शुक्लाम्बरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। स्टांजा 2। अष्टावक्र उवाच मुक्तिमिच्छसि चेत्तात विषयान् विषवत्यज क्षमार्जवदयातोष सत्यं पीयूषवद्भज। If mukti, the moksha, is to be accomplished, first of all, one has to give up all the vishayas. Here vishayas include the deha also. That is, one has to take to indriya nigraha, mastery over the senses, and not allow the senses to run after the sense object, and also not to have the identification with the body. Why? The reason will be seen in stanza 18, means why in the sense, why the vishayas are called visha, poison, the reason will be seen in stanza 18. In this context, we were seeing some stanzas from Vivek Chudamani. In Vivek Chudamani, in stanza 79, it is said, the vishaya is more virulent, more damaging than even the poison of a black cobra. Why? Because visham nihanti bhoktaram nihanti. Poison kills the person who consumes it. Consumes it either in terms of taking inside or by some biting, stinging of a cobra, etc. So visham bhoktaram nihanti. But vishayas are much more dangerous. How is it that? Because ayam means this vishaya chakshusha drashtaram api nihanti. It destroys the person who simply sees the vishaya by eyes. Even the sight of vishaya can damage the spiritual interest of a mumukshu, and therefore vishayas are said to be much more dangerous than even the poison. There only it is said in Vivek Chudamani, Shabdadibhih panchabhireva pancha panchatvamapu swagunena baddha Kuranga matanga patanga meena bhranga narah pancha viranchita kim. Pancha, the five of these. What are those? Kuranga, that is deer, matanga, elephant, patanga, moth, meena, fish, bhrungaha, bhrunga, black bee. These pancha, you know what happens to them? Panchatvam apuhu. So gaining the panchatva means to die. So body merging in the pancha mahabhutas. Panchatvam apuhu, they die. On account of what? Shabdadibhi panchabhihi eva. By these any of these five sense objects. What are those? Shabdadibhi. Shabda, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandha. How is it possible that these deer etc. die on account of sense object? Not that way. Swagunena baddhaha. Each of these five living beings are attached to a given sense object. Like Kuranga. The Kuranga, the deer, is attached to sound. The hunter plays the flute melodiously, enamored by this sweet music. The deer gets transfixed to a place. It stands still without knowing what is happening around, totally engrossed in so that is melodious sound of the flute, and the hunter slowly comes and catches it. So that is the depth of this deer because of attachment to the sound. Matanga, elephant, is attached to the sense of touch, the touch. It wants to touch the she elephant. So the way of catching elephant is they dig a pit and tie a she elephant somewhere there. The elephant runs to that she elephant and falls in the pit and they catch the elephant. Patanga, the moth. Moth is attached to the form. So when it sees the flame, it gets so enamored that it straight away enters the flame and gets burned. Meena, the fish, is attached to taste. To the hook, the bait is fixed, and when the fish sees the bait, thinking that it has got something to eat, it nibbles the bait but gets hooked because there is a hook behind that. So this is how it dies. Bhringaha, bhringa, black bee. Black bee is attached to the sense of smell, to the smell, fragrance. So it goes into the lotus etc. and gets so much engrossed in the smell that even if the lotus get closed, the black bee gets caught up in the closed lotus and dies. Like this, these five types of animals or insects are that means panchatvam apuhu, they die on account of their attachment to a particular sense object, swagunena baddhaha, being bound by a specific sense object. Now, what about the man? Naraha panchavi anchitaha kim. This human being is attached to all the five sense objects. What is his lot? So, panchabhihi anchitaha. Anchitaha means bound. Naraha, the human being who is attached to all the five sense objects, gets that his lot cannot be described at all. Certainly he is going to get bound by all these and going to come to ruin in terms of his spiritual accomplishment. So therefore, to gain the Atma Jnana, one should have a staunch Vairagya. And if Vairagya is not strong, if it is weak, even if one takes the spiritual pursuit, at one time or other, the sense objects are going to drag this person in terms of sense indulgence, and his spiritual progress gets stunted. Same thing is explained in stanza 81. Earlier stanza was 78 from Vivek Chudamani. Shabda Adibhi was stanza 78 from Vivek Chudamani. In Vivek Chudamani, in stanza 81, it is said like this. Apata vairagyavato mumukshun bhavabdhiparam pratiyatu mudyatan ashagraho majjayatentarale nigrihya kanthe vinivartya vegat. To such mumukshus, who are those mumukshus? Apata vairagyavataha, those who have got only superficial vairagya, means vairagya is not very strong, and bhavabdhiparam pratiyatu mudyatan, so they are ready to cross over the ocean of samsara. And to such mumukshus who have got only, that means superficial vairagya, what does this crocodile of desire does? Ashagraha, that crocodile of desire, and nigrihya kanthe, by catching this mumukshu by the very neck or the throat, so nigrihya kanthe, vegad vinivartya, having brought him back by force, means brought him back means this person who was to cross the ocean of samsara, returning him from that pursuit, antarale majjayate, makes him drown, makes him get drowned in between. So one has to conquer the desire, one should develop the vairagya. From that standpoint, it is specified here, Vishayan Vishavat Teja. Give up the sense object like the poison, means have the mastery over the indriyas. And not only that, give up the identification with the embodiment. In this manner, first, the Dhamma or master, Indriya Nigraha, the mastery over the senses, is advised. Having advised this Vishayatyaga in terms of Dhamma or Indriya Nigraha, now the Guru Ashtavakra is advising about the Shama or the mastery over the mind. Antakarana Nigraha Rupa Shama. So the Shama, the mastery over the mind, is being advised, for which one has to develop certain values. One has to develop certain values like Shama, etc. So he is advised to develop these values and attitudes. Kshama, Arjava, Daya, Tosha, Satyam, Piyushavad Bhaja. Bhaja, take two. This take two. How? Piyushavat. Piyushavat is, Piyusha is ambrosia, nectar, amruta. Just as one would take delight in drinking amruta, nectar, so also what you do is develop these qualities by which you can have the mastery over the mind. What are those qualities? Kshama. Kshama is sarva sahanam, enduring, bearing, forbearance. So all these values correspond to the nature of Atma Swarupa. We'll see how it is so. So first, that is develop the Sarva Sahana, bearing, forbearance, enduring. Whatever happens, one has to endure because the mind should be available for higher pursuit. See, Kshama can be considered as Atma Dharma also, the feature of Atma, in the sense Atma is the Adhisthana, the very basis for entire Jagat. The Jagat comprises of all varieties of things, good, bad, these such things, all these things, but Atma is the very basis for all the entire Jagat. It bears the entire Jagat. So also one should develop the quality of Kshama, the forbearance. Arjavam. Arjavam is straightforwardness, or being free from cheating, deception, etc. Cheating, deception are actually the product of avidya, ignorance. So not to have any connection whatsoever with cheating, deception in one's vyavahara. So to be straightforward in one's dealing with the world. So that is what Arjavam. So that also is Atma Dharma in the sense. See, Atma is totally free from avidya, ignorance, and avidya, karya. So from that standpoint, one has to develop the Arjava, the straightforwardness, the perfect alignment between the thought, word, and deed. No crookedness. That is all this, everything is very straight, no cheating, no deception. So that is how one has to be free from any connection whatsoever with the avidya, karya, like cheating, etc. Of course, avidya, karya, like cheating, etc. in terms of vyavahara. So in terms of vyavahara. Daya, compassion. So compassion, so what is compassion? In the sense, being interested in the good of all people without any deceit, with guilelessness. So, nirupadhikam sarva hitanubandhitvam, being or taking to the good of everyone without any cheating, guilelessly. So that is what is called as the daya, the compassion. Atma also is so in the sense, Atma gives the satta, the existence, and spurti, the knowledge aspect, to all the beings and entire Jagat without any partiality, without anything less or more. Equally, it imparts the existence and knowledge aspect to the entire creation. So likewise, so one has to be compassionate, one has to have compassion, being interested in the good of everyone, taking all like oneself only. Daya. Toshaha. Tosha here is Atma Sukha, the delight, the joy in oneself. So being contented. So the being contented. Atma itself is Ananda Swarupa. So also one has to keep the mind in a cheerful mood, because a melancholic mind will not be able to take to the pursuit of gaining the Atma Jnana. So Toshaha, the joy or delight in oneself, being cheerful by being contented. Satyam, speaking the truth, means speaking as it is. in terms of Vyavahara. There is no change between what has happened and what is being told as such. This also corresponds to the Atma Dharma in the sense Atma is Kalatraya Abadhya. In that cannot be destroyed or that doesn't change in all the three periods of time. All the three periods of time. So Trikala Abadhita Vastu. Satyam Trikala Abadhita Vastu. So all these means this correspond to the features of Atma. Our disposition also must be in accordance with that. With the help of these values, one is able to have a command or the mastery over the mind, or to have what is called as Shama. You can have the Shama. So all these like Piyusha, like the Amrita, like the nectar, like the ambrosia, please take to them. In other words, Ashtavakra is advising or imparting the Atma Jnana to a mumukshu, to a student, to a disciple who is endowed with Shamadamadi Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti. So here Indriya Nigraha Dama in by was told by Vishayan Vishavatyaja, and Shama was recommended by asking to take to Kshama, Arjava, etc. These two are Upalakshana for Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti. Unless the mind enjoys this Sadhana Chatushtaya Sampatti and thereby has got a calm and composed and one-pointed, single-pointed, ekagra, nischala mind, it is not possible to gain the Atma Jnana. Here, a doubt is possible. Vishayan Vishavat Tyaja was said. Give up the Vishayas like poison. And this Vishayas includes the Deha also. Means one has to give up the Deha. But everyone knows or takes that this body, which is made up of Panchamahabhuta, the space, air, fire, water, earth. So this body made up of these five elements as Atma, as oneself. And this being the case, how is it ever possible to either give up the body which is made up of Panchamahabhutas or their gunadharmas in terms of Vishayas? How is it possible? It is not possible. So one may think that way. So for example, Prithvi, what is the gunadharma of Prithvi? Gandha. Aap, gunadharma is rasa, taste. So like this, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha are the gunadharmas. So these five Vishayas are gunadharmas of the five elements, and the body itself is made up of five elements, and that body is I. How is it possible to give up the body or even the Vishayas? Because no one can give up oneself. So I can never be given up. And you are asking to give up these Vishayas which include the body, etc. How is it ever possible? So this way the doubt is there, for which now the answer is being given. Look, you are not this body made up of Panchamahabhutas, so and also their gunadharmas in the Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha are not the features of you, the Atma. They are all Anatma, including the body. All the sense objects, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha are Anatma. But that is not I, that is not Atma, and certainly they can be given up. Stanza 3. Na prithvi na jalam na agnir na vayur devar na va bhavan Esham sakshinam chidrupam vidhi muktaye. O disciple, Bhavan, you, Bhavan, Prithvi na, Jalam na, Agnihi na, Agnihi na, Vayuhu na, Dyauh va na, Esham sakshinam atmanam chidrupam muktaye vidhi. Bhavan, O disciple, as far as you are concerned, your Swarupa is not this. Prithivina means this body made up of these 5 elements is not you at all. Prithivina, you are not earth. Jalamna, you are not water. Agnihina, you are not fire principle. Vayuhuna, air, you are not. Dyauh, Dyauh here, Dyauh stands for air, Akasha, space. Even space you are not. And the question will be, the Shishya may ask, then who am I then? I take myself the body and you are telling that I am not the body. So who am I? So you are Esham Sakshinam Atmanam. You are Atma, the Sakshi, the one who makes you know all these things, all these. So that means the Pancha Mahabhutas and the body made up of Pancha Mahabhutas, their guna dharmas, the 5 sense object, all these are made known to you by which principle? Sakshi, the Chaitanya Swarupa. So it is called Sakshi because Sakshat Anyanapekshaya Ikshate Prakashayati iti Sakshi. That which makes you know without depending on anything else whatsoever, that is Sakshi, the very knowledge principle, Chaitanya Tattva, the pure awareness principle. So Esham means Prithviadinam, these Pancha Mahabhutas and the body made up of it, of all these. Sakshinam, the one who is the illuminator, in the sense one who makes you know all these. That Atmanam, you are the one. And what is its nature actually? Chidrupam, the very Chaitanya Swarupa, which is nothing but Chit and Chit alone, Chaitanya and Chaitanya alone, pure awareness principle. By pointing out that Atma is Chidrupa, so the Nayayika Mata is refuted. According to Nayayika Mata, Atma is a Dravya, a substance. And it is a substance. And how knowledge is possible? Atma Manas Sanyoga is Jnana, what did they say? Means mind is something, Atma is a Dravya. When the mind and the Atma gets combined, what is called as knowledge of any object, etc. is born, which is not correct. So your Atma is what? Chidrupam, the very knowledge principle itself is knowledge principle without depending on anything whatsoever else. So that Vidhi means Sakshat Kuru, directly know it. So directly know it, not Parokshataya. Oh, Atma is like this, and it is so told by in the Shastras. No, Shastras you have to make use of certainly, but finally it should be your direct experience, what is called as Aparoksha Anubhuti, Aparoksha Jnana. So Sakshat Kuru, directly cognize it. What is the result of this? Muktaye, for the sake of Mukti. Mukti you already seen. Sarvanartha Nivrittihi Paramanandavapti Rupa. The total freedom from all the sorrows and gaining the Paramananda Swarupa, which is possible by making the mind abide in Atma Swarupa, Swatmani Avasthanam moksha, svatmani avasthanam moksha. In this manner, so the body cannot be you, and you are the sakshi, the one who is aware of the body, of because of which principle, that is your true nature, and you are the Chaitanya Swarupa, Chidrupa. Better directly cognize it, have sakshatkara of that, and thereby you can certainly gain mukti. Some different people have got different notions about the mukti. Nayayika say, Atyantiki dukkha nivritti hi mukti. The total cessation of sorrow is moksha. That is what Nayayika say. Prabhakaraha, a school of thought in Mimamsa, they say dukkha pragbhava paripalanam, in the sense continuance of the state prior to dukkha. See, when sorrow comes, before sorrow came, there was no sorrow. So therefore, continuing before sorrow came, there was no sorrow. The continuance of this state of absence from sorrow is mukti. That is what Prabhakara says. Buddhas claim that mukti is atmahani, destruction of oneself. All these notions are not correct. So mukti is only by Atma Jnana, by the direct knowledge of one's own true Swarupa. That is mukti, and that can be had even now while living. This is being now pointed out by the Guru Ashtavakra. Stanza 3. यदि देहं पृथक्कृत्य चिति विश्राम्य तिष्ठसि अधुनैव सुखी शान्तो बन्धमुक्तो भविष्यसि. If you can accomplish this, you can be totally free from bondage right now here. What is to be accomplished? Yadi, in case, deham prithakritya, having separated yourself, having shifted yourself in terms of viveka by giving the erroneous identification with the body, means knowing fully well or discovering that you are distinct from deha, indriya, mana, buddhi, prana, your upadhi, your embodiment. So, yadi deham prithakritya chiti vishramya tishtasi. By the mind enjoying the naishchalya, Shuddhantakarana is already there, with the naishchalya, that is chidekagra, ekagrata of the chit. If the mind, if you are able to make the mind get absorbed in chiti, chiti, that is your swarupa, chaitanya swarupa, chiti, vishramya tishtasi. Vishramya tishtasi means if you are able to rest or repose your mind in Chaitanya Swarupa, means if you are able to make the mind get absorbed in Chaitanya Swarupa, that is your true nature. If you are able to do that, so That actually is moksha, because we already seen what is mukti. Swaswarupena avasthanam. Abidance of the mind in the Atma Swarupa, wherein it is able to directly cognize the Atma, free from all the adhyastha. That is what moksha is. That is what is told here as chiti vishramya tishtasi. Here we can see something from Upadesha Sahasri. Upadesha Sahasri, in its 6th chapter, called as Visheshapoha Prakarana. A prakarana wherein the Vishesha, the features which are not belonging to Atma, are given up. Means what is not Atma, what is Anatma is given up. What remains is Atma Swarupa. For which an interesting illustration is given. It is like this. If somebody's hand is amputated because of some reason, that hand is amputated and that hand is removed, and it is there. It is there. The person will not have the I-ness in the hand, because the person exists even without the hand. If the hand were I, even if it is amputated, that I-ness must be there in the hand. So therefore, in the case of a tekta hasta means a hand that is given up maybe by amputation, which is anatma, not part and parcel of atma. So what afterwards, whatever that remains after giving up, whatever that is anatma, that is atma. You have to find out in our entire embodiment what all the things can be given up and yet we do exist. Presently we do take the body as the I, the indriyas as the I. Suppose a person is not able to see, the indriya, the chakshus, eyes are not functioning. Still the person continues to be as a blind person. A deaf person also continues to be without the sense of hearing, like that. In sleep, the body, mind are not available, still I continue to be there. So that also shows that none of these, deha, mana, buddhi, prana, etc., none of these can be truly the features of Atma. They cannot be Atma Swarupa, because I do continue to exist even without them, and therefore whatever that remains finally after giving up all the anatma, namely the Chaitanya Swarupa, Chiti, the pure awareness principle, that alone can be Atma Swarupa. So it can be seen by the example of a tekta hasta, by amputated hand, which can be stretched to all the anatma, which even when given up, Chaitanya continues to exist. Even ignorance can be given. I am the one who is aware of the ignorance, therefore distinct from the ignorance. So therefore, in this chiti, vishramya tishtasi, if you are able to remain by getting absorbed in the Chaitanya Swarupa, which is your true I, Atma Swarupa, then adhuna eva, right now means when, jivana dashayam eva, now while living jivana dashayam eva, you will become what? Sukhi, shantaha, bandha muktaha bhavishyasi. Sukhi bhavishyasi, shantaha bhavishyasi, bandha muktaha bhavishyasi. You will become sukhi. What is sukhi? Not like getting vishaya sukha. You will become the one who has gained paramananda, prapta paramanandaha. You will become the one who has discovered yourself to be nothing but limitless Ananda Swarupa. And when you have discovered yourself to be limitless Ananda Swarupa, certainly you are going to be Shantaha, composed. Suprasanna manaha. You will be the one who will be very cheerful because you are nothing but Ananda Swarupa. Shantaha, the one who is calm and composed, and thereby certainly you are free from bondage. What is that bondage? In terms of kartrutva, bhoktrutva, etc., which are the very causes of anartha rupa samsara. Not knowing my Swarupa, we identify with the embodiment. Having identified with the embodiment, we take too many karmas. We think that I am the doer. As a result, we get papa punya. And papa punya gives rise to sukha, dukkha, and we experience that, and experiencing, we take ourselves to the bhokta, the experiencer, the enjoyer. So this is what samsara. So here, when you have totally given up the identification with the body and directly discovered your Chiti Swarupa, you are certainly going to be free from the wrong notions of the body, etc. I as I and its consequent samsara. So that being the case, bandha muktaha bhavishyasi. You will be totally freed from the bondage. So what is to be done now? One has to give up the identification of the body and make the mind get absorbed in Chiti, the Chaitanya Swarupa Atma. One may say, to accomplish this, first of all, we'll have to do one thing. What is it? We'll have to give up all karmas. Well, Lauki karmas we give up, understandable. But Shastras tell us, do this and do that. And these karmas that are enjoined in the Shastras depend on Varna and Ashrama. Varna means Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Ashrama, Brahmacharya, Grahastha, Vanaprastha. Like this, Shastras themselves are, that means enjoining these karmas, and you are asking to give up those karmas and make the mind get absorbed in the Chiti. So how is it possible? Because I is the one who has got Varna and Ashrama. So how can we give up? No. Your Atma is distinct from all the Varna and Ashrama. You are distinct from Varna Ashrama. And this Varna Ashrama belong to the body, and they are all that belong to the body. So, and not to the Atma. Let us see now. Next stanza. Natvam vipradiko varno nashrami nakshagocharaha asangosi nirakaro vishwasakshi sukhi bhava. Tvam vipradikaha varnaha na. O disciple, you are not this varna. What varna? Pipradikaha, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. No, that is because these belong to Deha. So these belong to Deha. Again, na ashrami, na akshagocharaha. See, one may say, look, I see myself as a Brahmana, I see myself as Kshatriya, etc. So therefore he says, akshagocharaha na. What is seen by you in terms of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya or Brahmachari, Grahastha, Vanaprastha, so these are all belonging to the Deha. Atma Swarupa cannot be seen by any of these Indriyas. So it is not an object of the Jnanendriya. Being not an object of the Jnanendriya, so whatever that is perceived through Jnanendriyas can never be the features of Atma Swarupa. And that being the case, says, Aksha Gocharahana, you are not the one which Gochara is Vishaya. You are not the objects of the indriyas. Aksha means indriyas. You are not the objects of indriyas. Gochara also means yogya, fit. Means you are not the one who is fit to be perceived through the indriyas. So therefore, ashrami, the vipradi or ashrami, brahmachari, grahastha, vanaprastha, or a sannyasi, all these ashrami, na, you are not these, because they belong to the deha which is available for perception. Atma is not available for perception. If that is the case, so who am I? Then the answer is asangaha asi. You are the one who is asangaha. So asangaha means sarva upadi sanga rahitaha. So you are totally free from any connection whatsoever with entire upadhi, whether at gross level, subtle level, or causal level. You are totally free from these. You have nothing to do with any of these upadhis. Maybe these upadhis are superimposed adhyastha on you, but you have nothing to do, you have no connection whatsoever. Just as a snake is superimposed on rope, but that rope has nothing to do with the superimposed snake. So therefore you are asangaha, alak niranjan. So you are totally independent, totally unconnected to entire upadhi at all the three levels of gross, subtle and causal, and therefore you are nirakaraha. You are not sakara. Sakara means limited, parichinna. Nirakaraha, aparichinnaha. Desha, kala, vastu parichinnata are not there in you at all. You are all pervasive, nirakaraha, and actually you are vishwasakshi. Vishwasakshi. Vishwa here means sarva. Not Vishwavan, not the one who is the part and parcel of the Jagat, the Vishwa. You are Vishwasakshi. You are the illuminator, the one who makes known entire Vishwa, Sarvasakshi. Everything is known on account of you, the Chaitanya Chiti Swarupa, and you are not the part and parcel of the Vishwa, the Sakshi. See, when you say Sakshi, certainly you are independent. Now, for example, the one who is aware of the pot is distinct from the pot. So also, one who is the one who makes known all the Jagat, the entire Vishwa, everything is certainly distinct from entire Jagat. Vishwasakshi, Vishwasakshi, and therefore what you do, this being your Swarupa, by making your mind repose in Chiti, Chiti Vishramya. So what you do? Sukhi Bhava. Sukhi Bhava, remember, Prapta Paramanandaha Bhava. So Prapta Paramanandaha Bhava. Be the one who has directly accomplished or who has gained the limitless Ananda Swarupa. Well, karmas are to be given up. One has to make the mind get absorbed in the Chiti Atma, Chiti Swarupa Atma. That is true. But is it not true that by giving up karma, by non-performance of the karma enjoined by the Shastras, are we not going to incur sin? Because it is said that if the enjoined karmas are not done, there is what is called as pratyavaya dosha. So there can be pratyavaya dosha. So pratyavaya dosha, sin accruing on account of non-performance of the karmas enjoined by the Shastras. Actually, this pratyavaya dosha is not totally correct, but there is some sense in it. Only because by non-performance of karma, one is not going to accrue sin. But what is said in English as empty mind is devil's workshop. Like that, this person who doesn't do the enjoined karma will certainly do in course of time prohibited karmas, nishiddha karmas, and because of doing of nishiddha karma, he is bound to get the papa. If he were busy in the karmas enjoined by the Shastra, there would not have been perhaps there would not have been an occasion to take to nishiddha karma. From that standpoint, it is said that pratyavabhaya dosha may accrue, but which is not applicable here because kartrutva, bhoktritva, papa, punya, sukha, dukkha, all these actually belong to the antakarana, the mind, and nothing to do with the Atma Swarupa. So Atma Swarupa has nothing to do anything with these, and therefore, so there is no question of only getting or incurring papa because of non-performance of karma. What you have to do is, you have to discover your Swarupa, wherein none of these can ever afflict you because you are totally free from them. You have no connection whatsoever with them, which was earlier pointed out as asangaha asi. No doubt Shastras enjoin, you should do this, you should not do this. For whom it is meant? For Ajnani, the ignorant person who is identified with the embodiment and having taken for granted the identification with the embodiment for the time being, the Shastra prescribes, enjoins certain vihita karma and recommends to abstain from the nishiddha karma, so that by such living in course of time the person develops a mature mind and gains viveka vairagya, takes to atma vichara and gains the knowledge. Till then, these vidhi nisheda have got relevance. But the person who has discovered the Swarupa and has made the mind get absorbed in the chitti, has nothing to, he need not bother about any of these because all of these belong to antakarana, mind only. Next stanza. Dharma dharmau sukham dukkham manasani nate vibho na kartasi na bhoktasi mukta evasi sarvada. Vibho. Vibho. See, the disciple is addressed as Vibhu. You know who is Vibhu? Vyapakatvat Vibhu, the one who is all-pervasive. Or Vividham Bhavati Asmat iti Vibhu, the one from whom that means the variegated Jagat is born. Vividham Bhavati Asmat iti Vibhu. The Vividha, the variety, the various types of or the variegated Jagat is born from whom? That is and that is principle is called Vibhu, means you are the all-pervasive Atma Swarupa, Brahma Swarupa, from whom entire Jagat is born. You are not the embodiment, O Vibhu. So disciple who is nothing but all-pervasive Atma Swarupa, listen. Dharma dharma, dharma and adharma. Dharma also means punya, adharma means papa. So papa, punya, sukham, dukkham cha. Sukha, joy on account of Vishayas, dukkha, sorrow. These manasani ad santi. They are all manasani. So manasani means manodharmaha. Manodharmaha. They are the characteristic features of the mind. You may wonder how Papa, Punya, etc. are the products of the mind. It is like this. See, whenever action, karma is done, what is the notion? I did it. Which is this I? Identified with the embodiment. So I did it, and something good I did, therefore what? Oh, I will get the punya, and therefore what? Who am I? I am punyavan. I am the one who has got punya. Or I did some wrong thing. Oh, papa will come. I am papi. So I am papi. So etc. So means in all this, do you know what is there? There is the needle of ahankara. Like the gramophone needle when in contact with the revolving disc. So it gives all the whatever that is there in the manifestation, the disc takes place. Like that, to these karmas which are performed at the body, mind and speech level, when the ahankara needle is in contact, then what happens? Then I did it, etc. So papa, punya, all these belong to the individual ahankara in his antakarna. So therefore, because of this contact, so they are what? The sukha, the papa, punya are manodharmas. And when papa, punya are there, they do give rise to sukha, dukkha. And so I am sukhi, I am dukhi. These also are manodharmas only, manasani santi. Oh, that is why they are all antakarna dharmaha, manasa dharmaha, manodharmaha. They are characteristic features of mind, antakarna only. Te na. Te means tava. Na. These papa, dharma, papa, punya, sukha, dukkha, etc. They don't belong to you. You, who is that you? Vibhu, the all-pervasive Chaitanya. The very basis of the entire Jagat. To you, they do not belong at all. Why? Who are you? Tvam, add there tvam, you, karta, nasi. You are not the karta. So, whether vihita or nishiddha, so you are not the karta, you are not the doer, because Chaitanya Swarupa, Atma, you, Vibhu, being totally nirupadhika, it is not possible for you, Chaitanya, to take to any karma. That is why it is called as Naishkarmya. Naishkarmya means where neither karmas are there nor karmas are ever possible. So that is Naishkarmya. So that you are not the karta, see. And when the one who is the karta, who takes to vihita nishiddha karma, acquires dharma means papa punya, and as a result sukha dukkhas come, he has to undergo those sukha dukkhas and become the bhokta of sukha dukkha. So therefore, because you are not the karta, bhokta na asi, means even the bhoktrutva doesn't belong to you. So it doesn't belong to you, because do you know who you are? Shuddha Buddha Swarupaha. So you are the one who is the Buddha Swarupaha. Buddha here means a very knowledge principle which is Shuddha, free from all the adhyastha. So that being the case, Sarvada Muktaha Eva Asi. You are always ever free from bondage, because in you the bondage can never be there. Only on account of ajnana You identify yourself with the body embodiment. Thereby you take yourself to be the karta bhokta of sukha dukkha, and therefore suffer the samsara. So this can be totally terminated, eliminated by what? Chiti Vishranti. So that by making your mind get absorbed in the Swarupa, whereby Ajnana Nivritti is there, Ajnana gets destroyed. When Ajnana gets destroyed, Ajnana gets destroyed by direct cognition, Sakshatkara of Atma Swarupa. So what happens is, so you have no more identification the body, Ahankara is not there, Kartritva Bhoktritva is not there, Sukhitva Dukkhitva is not there. What you are is nothing but Paramananda Swarupa. As a result, you are Sarvada, always Muktaha Evasi. You are totally free from samsara. Then you will also discover, even in the state of ignorance, actually, in reality, you, Atma Swarupa, was free from samsara. You was free from samsara. Only due to ignorance, you mistook yourself to be Baddha. So in reality, you are always free from the bondage. If that is the case, Sarvada Muktaha Eva Asi. If you are the one, means if I am the one who is always free from the bondage, how come presently in the state of ignorance I do experience the bandhana? So the question arises, for this Atma, who is Sarvada Mukta, means Nitya Muktaha, who is Shuddha Buddha Swabhavaha, who is pure awareness principle, pure knowledge principle, totally free from all the Adhyastha Jagat, unto this Atma, how come this bondage come? On account, what is the cause of the bondage of this Atma? So, and for which one has to develop Viveka Vairagya, and one should get rid of this bondage. How is it? What is the cause? So that is to be now, that is to be found. So therefore say, look, in reality, you are Nitya Muktaha. But temporarily, subjectively, you appear to be the one who is Baddha. The reason is not knowing your Swarupa. So that is what means, this exactly is the bondage that is now going to be told now. Eko drashtasi sarvasya mukta prayosi sarvada ayameva hi te bandhaha drashtaram pashyasitaram. You are this, and in spite of being this, one who is totally free from bondage, you are free from bondage. Your bondage is on account of this particular mistake. What is that? We can see now. Sarvasya drash. Om swasti prajabhya paripalayantam
भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो